Which structures are included into the diencephalon?
Thalamus.
Thalamus, hypothalamus, and what is the cavity of the diencephalon?
Third ventricle.
Third ventricle. Okay. So here we have the sagittal section of the brainstem below the corpus callosum, and here the diencephalon is located. Yeah. On this diagram we can see the corpus callosum. Yeah. Around the corpus callosum, the cingulate gyrus is located, septum pellucidum, fornix. Yes, the columns of the fornix. And these structures are diencephalon. Lower there will be midbrain, pons, cerebellum, and medulla. Diencephalon include three main structures: thalamic part, hypothalamus, and third ventricle between them. Thalamus, it is a paired structure. It is a void-shaped structure. Paired. So on this picture, for example, we can see two thalami. First one and second one. They are connected with each other medially by the interthalamic adhesion. Here we can see interthalamic adhesion, which connects two thalami. Anterior part of the thalamus, it is slightly sharpened and forms the anterior tubercle of the thalamus. Posterior part is widened and it is called the pulvinar of the thalamus. Here we can see superior surface of the thalamus, and here we can see medial surface of the thalamus. Superior surface of the thalamus is separated from the caudate nucleus by the structure which is called stria terminalis. And the superior surface is separated from the medial surface by the structure called stria medullaris. Here, stria medullaris, and here it is. Thalamus itself, it consists of gray matter mostly. There are numerous nuclei, and its main function of the thalamus is taking the sensory signals from different sense organs, and then transfer them to different other parts of the brain, like its hub sensory center. If we will draw the section of the thalamus, we will see next picture. So, cut. Yes, like it will be horizontal section. Mostly gray matter, but there is a wire-shaped layer of the white matter which separates it into three parts: superior, middle, and lateral. If you will open your books, you will find in different books different classifications of the thalamic nuclei. We usually spread them in different groups, and I will suggest you one of the simplest classifications, the easiest to just memorize. In this classification, we will separate thalamus in 5 main parts. We'll add this and this, and here we'll find anterior nuclei, posterior nuclei, lateral, medial, and median nuclei. Anterior part of the thalamus, it is connected with the mammillary bodies. If you remember the picture of the fornix, which we had here, yes, here we had mammillary bodies of the hypothalamus, and number 6, it was the mammillary thalamic fascicle. These fibers which connect mammillary bodies with the thalamus. We know that fornix, it is part of the diencephalon part of the limbic system. Mammillary bodies, they are responsible for olfaction, for olfactory analyzer. And the anterior nuclei of the thalamus, they also will be connected with the olfactory analyzer. Posterior nuclei, or nuclei of the pulvinar, they have connections with the optic analyzer, visual analyzer. So they will be responsible for vision. Lateral nuclei of the thalamus, they take all sensory signals from our skin and proprioceptive receptive receptors. So it is for common sensitivity from extra receptive and proper receptive. Median nuclei, which are, or central nuclei, which are in the center, they have connections with the auditory analyzer and vestibular analyzer. And last one, medial part, it will take the afferent signals from the other thalamic nuclei, and it will be a sensory center of the extrapyramidal system. So it will have connections with the basal nuclei, which was had in the last class, and it will form the kind of sensory part of the extrapyramidal system. Okay? Any questions about thalamus right now? No. Okay. Then let's come back here. What we have here on this picture, we have stria medullaris, and if we will look at them posteriorly, they will widen to form triangles here. These structures are called habenular triangle. Here epithalamus starts. Epithalamus, it is a part of the diencephalon, which is located slightly above and behind the thalamus. It includes habenular triangles, which starts from stria medullaris. Then from habenular triangles, habenuli will pass. Two habenuli connect to form habenular commissure or ecthalamic commissure, and here the epiphysis or pineal body is located. What is the pineal body?
Pineal gland.
Pineal gland, and what
produces the melatonin, which produces sleep cycle continues.
So, pineal body is an endocrine gland which produces different hormones. One of the main ones is melatonin. Also, it produces serotonin. Melatonin mostly produced during the nighttime when it is dark outside, and makes us sleep. Yes, so controls our sleep-wake cycle. Okay. Also, besides the epithalamus, there is a part of the diencephalon which is called metathalamus. Have you heard about it?
Yes.
What is metathalamus?
Part of the
So dorsally to the thalamus, there will be a couple of structures. So again, this picture, here we have thalamus, 1, 2. And behind the pulvinar of the thalamus, there will be 2 pairs of geniculate bodies. Here are our lateral geniculate bodies, here are medial geniculate bodies. Lateral geniculate bodies, so below the thalamus, we know that there will be midbrain, yes, and dorsal part of the midbrain forms this. It is lamina quadrigemina or caliculi of the midbrain, superior caliculi and inferior caliculi. Superior caliculi of the midbrain, they are connected with the lateral geniculate body by the arm of the superior caliculus, and they form a subcortical visual center. So visual afferent signals from the optic tract comes to the lateral geniculate bodies and partially goes to the superior caliculi of the midbrain. So both of them are subcortical visual centers. And inferior caliculi of the midbrain, they are connected with the medial geniculate bodies by the arm of the inferior caliculus or brachium of the inferior caliculus. What happened, Sayama? Are you okay?
Yes.
They take afferent signals from the auditory analyzer and form subcortical auditory center. Questions about metathalamus? So metathalamus include medial and lateral geniculate bodies, auditory and visual centers. Okay. Next part which we should discuss is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is located in front of thalamus and below it. So here we have thalamus, here we have hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is not paired. It is separated from thalamus by hypothalamic sulcus, and behind the optic chiasma. Some authors they include optic chiasma and optic tracts into the hypothalamus, but functionally they have no connections to the hypothalamus. Also, hypothalamus is connected with the pituitary gland. I suppose you remember where the pituitary gland is located in the skull, yes, in the cella turcica. So, by this we understand that hypothalamus will be above the cella turcica. And hypothalamus is connected with the pituitary gland by the infundibulum of the hypothalamus, and here it connects with the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. This large part of the hypothalamus is called tuber cinereum, or great tuber of the hypothalamus, and posteriorly it will have a pair of mammillary bodies included. This is one of the mammillary bodies. If we'll look to the hypothalamus from the basal surface of the brain, we'll find it here. This is hypothalamus. Yes, behind the optic chiasma and in front of the crus cerebri. Here it is pictured closer, so crus cerebri, and here hypothalamus, and we will find pituitary gland. There will be infundibulum, tuber cinereum, and mammillary bodies. Hypothalamus can be divided into three main zones: anterior, intermedial, and posterior part. And also numerous nuclei will be located in the hypothalamus, like paraventricular, supraoptic, arcuate nuclei, anterior hypothalamic nuclei, posterior hypothalamic nuclei, mammillary nuclei, and so on. You will read about nuclei of the hypothalamus on your own, yes, in your books, find information there. I want to talk a bit about the functions of the hypothalamus. So, hypothalamus, first of all, do you know any functions of the hypothalamus? Wake up. Good morning.
Good morning.
Control body temperature.
Control body temperature, okay, so there will be...
Safe drive.
Okay, what else? So, first of all, it is one of the major subcortical centers of the autonomic nervous system. So it will control multiple of our body functions, like it will control the function of the digestive system, respiratory system, cardiovascular system. It also controls our hunger, our thirst, body temperature. This all is true. Also, it has endocrine functions. It has a neurosecretory nuclei which produces hormones itself, like ADH, yes, vasopressin, antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin. ADH increases reabsorption of the water, yes, in kidneys, by this increasing the volume of the blood and increasing blood pressure. And oxytocin, it stimulates the smooth muscles, especially muscles of the uterus, myometrium. Also, it is produced during labor to make the uterus contract and push the baby outside. And also it is connected to it is produced during the feeding, breastfeeding, for example, yes, to make you more close to your baby emotionally, yes. That's it, yes. And after this, these hormones, the ADH and oxytocin, they are transferred to the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland, yes. They are stored in the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland and released into the bloodstream from the pituitary gland. And there is one more nucleus in the intermediate part of the hypothalamus. There is an anarchoid nucleus, so which is responsible for production of the releasing factors like statins and liberins. Have you heard about them? And about hypothalamic pituitary system? No? How our endocrine gland is regulated? We have multiple endocrine glands, yes, like thyroid, like suprarenal glands, adrenal glands, and so on. And the work of these hormones, they are controlled by the pituitary, by the anterior pituitary, which produces tropic hormones like TTH, ACTH, and so on. For example, let's take thyroid gland as an example. One of the simplest examples. So we have thyroid gland. Yeah? Thyroid gland produces hormones, thyroxine, and its ancestor T3. Yes. They are produced. Their production is stimulated by the TTH, yes, thyrotropic hormone, which is produced by the anterior pituitary. But TTH is not produced like voluntary by the will of the pituitary gland. Yes, its production is also controlled by the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus analyzes the blood concentrations. It has chemoreceptors. Which take this information about concentration of different substances in blood. And if there is a low amount of T3 and T4 in the bloodstream, hypothalamus will produce liberin, yes, thyrolebirin, which affects the anterior pituitary, stimulates anterior pituitary to produce TTH, and the increased amount of TTH affects the thyroid gland, and the thyroid gland increases the production of the T3 and T4. And there is could be also opposite situation when it is high concentration of thyroid hormones. Then hypothalamus produces thyrostatin, which will decrease the production of TTH, and lack of TTH will slow the production of thyroid hormones. So this is how the endocrine system is controlled. I suppose you may already studied it on physiology classes, or not yet?
No, in next class.
Next class?
Yes, endocrine.
Yes, endocrine.
Okay. Who is your physiology teacher?
Dean.
Your dean? Mine was also. One semester. And I gave my physiology exam to her also. And I still remember my questions on the exam. Which I have. About heartbeat cycle, about cerebellum, I had a question. Okay. Questions about hypothalamus. Also about mammillary bodies. Let's revise that they are connected with the limbic system and have olfactory function. There is a cortical olfactory center. Okay. Any questions about hypothalamus? No. Okay. And last point which I have to discuss in this topic is third ventricle. Third ventricle, as we know, it is a cavity of the diencephalon. It is located here between two thalami. So here we have the cavity of the third ventricle. And its shape will be like this, yes? So all this space is taken by the third ventricle. So lateral walls of the third ventricle are formed by the medial surfaces of the thalamus. So we understand that it is located between two thalami. Superiorly, there will be choroid plexus formed, which covers it like a roof, and also takes part in production of the CSF. Anteriorly, there will be three structures which forms the anterior wall of the third ventricle. There will be columns of the fornix, anterior commissure, and terminal plate. Inferiorly, third ventricle will be formed by the structures of the hypothalamus. Here we will find the optic recess near to the optic tract. Here we will find the infundibular recess, and here it forms the inferior wall of the third ventricle. And posteriorly we will find structures of the epithalamus. Here we will find posterior commissure, habenular commissure, and the epithalamic recess, which comes to the pineal body. So these are walls of the third ventricle. Any questions? So then that's it about the diencephalon. Okay. Give me a couple of minutes.